Hey guys, it's Kim from Daisies and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who have recently subscribed, I wanted to start off by saying thank you so much. I know a lot of you guys came over from Skylar Hand's channel when we did the collab together. I actually noticed that my numbers more than doubled in size, so I just want to thank you guys. Welcome to my channel, welcome to Crafting with me, and it just means so much to me that you subscribed and watched my other videos. I've really just appreciated all the kind comments and just all of the support. So big thank you to Skylar for the collaboration that I did with her. She was so sweet in knowing that this channel was new for me and helping me to grow it, and a big thank you to every single person that watched a video, hit like, commented, subscribed. No matter how big or small what you did, just please know what you did was appreciated. So thank you so much. We are back to our 10 supply challenge today, and for anyone new, that is where I am just taking 10 supplies and nothing else, sticking them on my desk, and I am challenging myself to only do layouts with those 10 supplies and nothing else. I do this around once a year because I feel like it's a great exercise just to kind of use the things you have. We kind of get tempted to buy a lot of stationery and we can get overwhelmed with that, and sometimes we don't use the things we have. Sometimes we feel like overwhelmed with journaling because we just have too much going on. So what I normally do is I just pick 10 supplies that are normally curated either by artist or color scheme or theme, just stick those on my desk, and that's all I'm allowed to use. So we are doing 10 videos like this. I believe this is the 6th, and yeah, we don't have too many left. But this is a special edition because we are actually doing an entire journal in a day with this challenge. So I'll explain what I mean by this. I've already done most of this journal. So as you guys can see, the layouts are just very simple and just very easy, and they're all actually the same. And I only used 6 supplies, not 10, which is kind of a common theme for me. I kind of put things out and don't wind up using all of them, but every single page has the same exact thing going on in this journal. So first thing I'd like to mention is that this is a tiny journal. It's a little bit bigger than a field note size, maybe like a passport size. So it's an easy size to work in, and layouts can be really quick. Second is that each page has the exact same supplies on them. They all have a background paper, a measuring tape, a vintage botanical cutout, a figure drawing, and a vintage stamp. And if you notice, every single page in the journal, even if it looks slightly different, like if the triangle is up here or down here, they all have the exact same supplies. So the reason why I decided to do this journal was not only for the 10 supply challenge, but because I feel like there are a lot of times in my life, it's a little sticky because I did them all on the same day. Oh, and this is just the middle. This is the middle of the journal. It looks a little bit different, and I'll explain why. There are these little just glassine envelopes that I left open to just stick like ephemera from the day in, and they're the only pages that look different. I just did the 2 centers like that. So I'll keep doing a flip through, and that's where I stopped. And we can pick up together where I left off. I might just start a new page just because that'll be kind of easy to work with. So there's a couple of reasons why I decided to do a journal in a day theme for this video. One reason is there's a lot of times that I simply feel like sitting down and writing. I have emotions from that day that are going on. You know, something happened, either exciting and happy or frustrating, and I feel like I need to get my emotions out. And a lot of times when I feel like I'm in more of that writing place kind of a day, I don't have pre-made layouts. And I don't always feel like, especially if it's frustrating or sad or upset feelings, I don't always feel like collaging. And for me personally, I do like all of my journals, whether they're purely art journals or writing journals, to have art in them. That's just myself personally. I know some people have, places that they just write and that's it. All of my journals are like combinations of art and journaling. And I don't always either have the time or the energy or even the emotional space to want to sit down and collage before I write. So a pre-made journal where you just can kind of make a bunch of pages really quickly and really easily work great for those kind of days, because you can just pick up your journal or your signature or your insert and you have them pre-made and you can just kind of write to your heart's content, just pour out your heart. And I think having a couple of journals like this kind of set and ready to go is a really great and easy thing, especially this size, which I'm guessing would be like the Traveler's Notebook Passport size. I normally use Field Notes, but like I said, this is just slightly bigger. You don't have to think too much about the layout because there's really not much going on. And if you're saving space to write too, like we have been doing, there's really not much to worry about collage-wise. So for beginner journaler, people that, like I said, just want kind of like a backup to just be able to write whenever you feel like you need to write, this size and this kind of simple layout is a really great tool. The reason I personally did this was because there's a lot of times that I'm out during the day. If me and my husband like to go like explore local towns a lot, that if I'm sitting at a coffee house or I'm sitting at a bookstore, I really would love to kind of take out my journal and just jot down notes like, we loved this coffee shop, this is what I got. I discovered a cute little antique store, this is the business card, this is the name, this is what I got there. Like, I sometimes like to be able to journal while we're out for the day, especially if we have like a moment or two that's kind of quiet where we're just sitting in a bookstore or sitting in a coffee shop. So I, again, am not going to bring all of my supplies with me if we're out for the day, but a pre-made journal like this, especially a small one that you can just kind of slip in your like bag or backpack or purse, is just great. And that's actually why I made it. We are probably going to go into Greenville this Saturday, which is the city where we used to live. It's now about 45 minutes away from us. And I really just kind of wanted to journal the day. I wanted to, go to my favorite bookstore, go to an antique shop that I like, go to our favorite coffee house. And I just kind of wanted a little journal to bring with me and just kind of record the things I like about Greenville, because in all honesty, so much of it was a negative experience for us since we moved, and now we kind of only go back in for fun. There are things that I realize that I do like about it and I do enjoy. So I kind of wanted a journal just about that, just about the positive aspects of it, because it's been such a long road. It's been such a hard time being here that I thought that would be a really good journal to kind of stick in with my other journals, just like the positive things that I liked. So I wanted to pre-design this little insert, just stick it in my bag, and when we went out for the day on Saturday, just be able to journal when we were at the bookstore, journal when we were at the coffee shop, but I still wanted it to look pretty. So I will take you guys along as I do what I did for each and every page. It's the exact same layout, but it looks slightly different because we're using different, like curls and different cutouts, but really, really easy, super, super easy design. So the supplies that we're using today, I counted these guys as 2. Vintage book pages are 1, and craft paper are 2, but I use them for the exact same thing. So I'm using these just for the corners. And sometimes I'm doing the corners on the top or the bottom. Sometimes I'm doing them, both on the bottom, but we're just kind of mixing it up. And sometimes I'm using craft paper, sometimes I'm using the vintage paper. So those are my first two supplies. The second supply are La Dolce Vita stickers. These you're going to see me glue down, and I know that's confusing because they're stickers, but I had ordered these not off of Pinkoi but off of Etsy. It was someone that had described that she was selling her collection of them, and what they wound up being were reproductions of them. So I kind of have like black market La Dolce Vita stickers. Please don't do this. It's not a good idea. I really thought that there was somebody that just had an excess of them that was selling her collection, but she misrepresented what she was doing, and she was actually selling like her own reproductions of them. So because of that, they're not as sticky as I'd like them to be, so I am gluing them down. Next time I order La Dolce Vita, as confusing as Pinkoi is, I'm going to order it just straight from the artist, because I don't want to make that mistake again, and just beware, guys, of what's out there. I have cutouts, and I chose to use only cutouts, again, from that book from Reader's Digest, the Book of the Garden that we used last time, and only these brown and white cutouts. So I feel like a lot of times when we get garden books or vintage botanical books, we're drawn to the ones with color and like the brighter illustrations. We use those first. I decided this time to go for the very neutral, just kind of sketches, like brown and white, just maybe the ones that you would use last, I decided to use first, just because I really liked that they were just kind of looked really nice in the background. They added to it instead of distracting from it. So I actually cut out a whole bunch of those, and those, as you saw through the flip through, have been what has been on every page. So that's 2, 3, 4. The fifth supply is the measuring tape, and the sixth supply is our stamps again. So again, this is, if you guys haven't been noticing, my theme for 2022 has definitely been simple and easy. I just have not been in the headspace to do anything really complicated, and it's not that that can't be fun, and it's not that I probably won't get to a place that I'll do more complicated, artwork and layouts, but right now, I've just wanted easy. I've just wanted simple. And like I've said before, this can be really great if you are a beginner journaler. You can go on Instagram or on YouTube or TikTok or whatever, your preference is. And you can see people doing really like ornate, involved journaling, and it can be overwhelming. It can be so overwhelming that you might feel like maybe, you're not going to be good enough, or it's too confusing to start. And that never has to be the case. Like, journaling should just be about what makes you happy. And if a really complicated spread makes you happy, then that's what you should do. But if an easier spread makes you happy, or that's where you are in your journaling journey, then that's what you should do. And I'm a big believer in not comparing yourself to another account or another artist. Even if you love the artist and kind of want to emulate their style of work, you don't have to be that person, be your own version of it. Get inspiration from them, but put your own spin on it. And so I feel like a journal like this, where every page is actually identical. I'm having trouble with my sweater today, so you guys can see it's getting in the way. It's so bulky. But a journal where everything is kind of identical, where you're just using the same supplies for everything, is just such a great way to start. It's just, you really can be at any skill level. And if you are not a beginner, but you feel like maybe the joy of crafting has been kind of missing, you haven't been as inspired lately, it hasn't been as fun for you as it used to be, something like this is just a great exercise. It just really is a great exercise. Just making simple spreads that you don't have to think too much about, where you kind of just give yourself space to journal, and you can kind of just get back to the heart of what journaling is. Like, why did you start with journaling to begin with? Was it to play, creatively with collage and paper? Was it to give yourself an outlet for writing? Like, whatever it is that connected you to journaling in the beginning, something simple like this can kind of just remind you of that and bring you back to that place. So as you can see, these come together really, really easily, which is why I said you can honestly do an entire journal in a day. And I have. I have put this together so quickly and so easily that, you really can just prepare for a day out. Like I said, we are hoping on Saturday, if my energy level and my health are good enough, just to spend the afternoon downtown in the city. And, I really just wanted to be able to journal while I was down there. And this can be fully finished and fully done for when we go. And there's like zero stress involved in this, but look how pretty this layout looks. We have vintage botanicals, we have figure drawings, we have ephemera, we have, it's such a complete looking layout. It doesn't look like it took us 5 minutes to do. It looks like it took a lot of time and a lot of effort, but really it takes 5 minutes a page. And because we're not kind of thinking about that layout, the layout's already kind of done for us. It makes it even easier. So I'll do maybe 1 or 2 more pages with you guys, and then I'll just kind of leave you up to your own creativity. So I'll choose to go with the craft paper this time instead of the vintage, like botanical dictionary pages. And I think I'm going to do 2 bottom triangles because we did a bottom and a top last time. And as I've mentioned before, I really feel like the more time I spend crafting, the more I realize just how much more I like simpler things. Like, I like things that just bring my stress down, that don't take too much time and effort. And this journal has definitely been a journal like that, where I really like how it's coming out. I really like the result of it and how it looks. But there has been just zero stress, like absolutely no stress at all with this. And I've been able to just put it together in a couple of hours. And I just find that really nice. So my hope is that this video is actually one of 2, that if my health allows and we do wind up going downtown on Saturday, I would really, really love to put up my first vlog on this channel. I vlog occasionally on Instagram and I leave it in my highlights, but it's something that I really enjoy doing. I really enjoy like connecting with people on a level that's not just crafting, and my hope is that I can do my first vlog on Saturday, and it would still be about crafting, but it would just kind of be taking you guys with me to my favorite spots downtown. Like I mentioned, the bookstore and coffee shop and antiques shop, and just kind of taking you guys shopping with me and taking you guys journaling with me. There's some really just pretty spots that we can sit and journal and just kind of have a cup of coffee and just take a breather from a stressful day and just kind of spend time together. So that's my hope. My hope is that this can be part 1, and part 2 can be a vlog where I actually take you guys outside of my studio and we can journal in downtown Greenville. So right now I'm just kind of looking for people that have like a similar color scheme. That is one thing that I do try to just kind of keep the color schemes of the stickers looking like each other. And again, if a figure is facing this way, I like her to lead to, you know, the center of the page, and the same with this. She's leading to the center of the page. I try to do that with the botanicals too. So it's always going to be, because we're going to be writing here, it's always going to be facing our eye inward toward the center, toward where the writing is going to be. It's definitely not a hard rule. I definitely have pages that isn't the case, but as a general rule, I do like to use eye leading. And just feel like that makes it better. And right now I'm just realizing how many like fuzzes are in my layouts. We have a puppy, she's not a puppy anymore, but a little doggy that sheds quite a lot, and I've noticed that her fur sometimes gets caught in things. And also the sweater, I wore it to be cozy, but I'm actually finding it to be a little sheddy and just cumbersome as I'm trying to journal. But that's life, right? Things are not perfect. So there we go. I just did 2 journal pages, as you could see, really quickly. And the reason for that is just that I'm sticking to the same layout. I'm just sticking to the triangles, the tape, the botanicals, the stamps, and the figures. And like I said, all of the figures are La Dolce Vita by Bofa, I believe is her name. Please, like I said, try not to get the knockoff versions. It does not help the artist, and she does not see that money. I did not realize I was doing that, so profusely apologize. That's not the point of this account at all. The point is to help small businesses, not hurt them. It was just an oversight and a mistake on my part, but she actually happens to be my favorite artist when it comes to figure drawing. I have so many people that I love and so many artists that I love, but she's my absolute favorite when it comes to girl stickers. And I just realized that I kind of hoard them and never use them because I find them so precious. So I was like, I'm gonna just dedicate an entire journal and just use these up this way. Like, I have them, they're used. Things I think that we cherish should be used. They should be in keepsakes that we're gonna keep. So this entire journal, all of them are La Dolce Vita girls. And like I said, each page, it really does look very different. It does have kind of its own style to it, kind of its own feel to it. Some are a little more dark and moody, and some of them are a little bit more bright. But they all just have the same layout, and because of that, I really was able to put this entire journal together in one day. And when we're ready to go out for the afternoon, it's set. And I mentioned that the center of the journal, I had put these tiny little glassine envelopes. And that's just because a lot of times when I do traveler's notebooks or travel journals, I like to stick things from the day in them. If I buy postcards, I'll kind of send out postcards but keep a version of the postcard myself and stick it in my journal. This little passport size is too small for that, so these can fit things like business cards, which I always try to grab business cards from my favorite businesses, or stickers or receipts. You can kind of just stick these in. So this journal will probably all be filled during that one day when we are downtown. And I just thought anything from that day that was special to me, like a receipt from the coffee shop, or, a business card from the bookstore, or just something, I would just stick in these little envelopes, and this would be kind of like a keepsake from our day out. But that's all, and yeah, let me know if you guys found this helpful. I personally just love when things look more complicated than they are. I personally love when things look like you took a lot of time and effort on them, but they were just really easy, stress-free, just kind of peaceful experiences. And for me, simple layouts do that. For you, it could be completely different. More complicated journal layouts where you spend an hour on the layout and you just kind of think about it and play with it. That might be what makes you feel peace. So please, as I always say, you do you. If something is peaceful for you, then you go down that path. Simplicity is peaceful for me, which is why I've been going down this path, especially right now, when life has been just kind of chaotic and all over the place. But find what makes you happy, find the style that makes you happy, and run with it. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thank you so much again to all of the new subscribers. I mean, I literally more than doubled in subscribers in one day. So thank you, Skylar, you sweet, sweet girl, for giving this channel a shout out. It just means so much to me, and each and every person that has joined me today means a lot too. So it is my absolute joy and pleasure to invite you into my craft room to craft with me, and hopefully Saturday to invite you on our little adventure downtown. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day or night wherever you are. If you enjoyed this video, I would love it if you gave it a like, and if you have been enjoying my channel, I would absolutely love it if you subscribed. But either way, I just appreciate you guys and hope that you have a wonderful day or night. I'll see you soon. So I'm still creating off camera. I've just been sitting here for like 5 minutes after I filmed this video and just did a few more pages, and you guys can see this literally took me like 5 minutes. I think the pages are really cute and really interesting and just easy to keep going. As you guys can see, this book is almost finished, and you really can do a journal in a day if you just kind of keep to the same layout. So 10 supply challenge, journal in a day. Journaling does not have to be stressful or complicated. It can just be fun sometimes.